the Heyoka enters the soul's theater as a paradox embodied, the sacred clown, the fool who knows. In Jungian terms, this figure is an archetype of paradox and compensation, a living symbol sprung from the collective unconscious to jolt the psyche into awareness. Where the ego grows rigid, the Heyoka's humor becomes a remedial laughter that breaks the defenses and reveals what the conscious mind prefers to disavow. At first glance, the Heyoka appears a comedian. At depth, they are a carrier of the shadow's truth. Their laughter is not mere levity, but an incisive mirror reflecting back what others cannot yet bear to see. By mimicking and exaggerating, by speaking bluntly and strangely, the Heyoka renders visible the unconscious attitudes and hidden wounds that shape behavior. In so doing, they perform a sacred function. They make the denied conscious and thus available for transformation. The Heyoka's gifts are rooted in extreme sensitivity. Heightened empathy places them on the borderline between self and other, so that the sufferings and distortions of the community register within their own body and soul. Many such souls grow from difficult childhood soil. Trauma becomes the forge in which this capacity to carry and transmute pain is shaped. Solitude follows as a necessary right withdrawal into the inner wilderness where the psyche restores and reorders itself. Here, like the alchemist at their crucible, the Heyoka integrates the images and feelings absorbed from the world. Their methods are peculiar. Blunt truth delivered with clownish improvisation, paradoxical gestures that dissolve emotional knots, and a creativity that reframes tragedy into new possibility. These are not tactics of cruelty but of compensation. The Heyoka's bluntness shocks the inflated ego. Their humor loosens the grip of despair. In Jungian language, they enact a therapeutic reversal. They force conscious attitudes to confront their opposites, inviting a reconciliation of opposites that is central to individuation. The Heyoka's restlessness and preference for withdrawal signal the perennial cost of being a psychic antenna. They must protect themselves from empathic flooding. Their retreat is not mere aloofness, but a reparative descent into the unconscious. When they return, they bring images, jokes, and gestures that carry integrative power, small initiations toward wholeness for those who will receive them. Thus, the Heyoka is both trickster and healer. As trickster, they overturn complacency. As healer, they minister through mirth. Their non-judgmental bearing and fierce compassion allow the painful to be seen without annihilation. In a culture that prizes reason and decorum, the Heyoka reminds us that the path to wholeness may pass through foolishness, that the psyche sometimes requires the ridiculous to reveal the sacred. To encounter a Heyoka is to meet one who incarnates paradox, tender and scathing, solitary and communal, clown and sage. In their presence, the psyche is invited to laugh at itself and, in that laughter, to recognize the wounded places that plead for transformation. The fool who heals shows us that the deepest wisdom often arrives dressed in jest, and that through the courageous acceptance of contradiction, the self moves ever toward integration. So, tell me, do you resonate with an Heyoka Empath or know anyone else that does? Let me know in the comments. All the best on your journey.